The Israelis said now unofficially, but I think over the coming days we will get some official statements that the reason they did this is that the Iranians were within days of being able to build a nuclear weapon. They had intelligence that the Iranians were much farther along than President Trump and others sort of had let on, that information was shared with the Americans. To what level there was coordination, was there advanced knowledge, was there an approval, we don't know. But I think Mick Mulvaney asked a really important question. Do the Israelis put boots on the ground? Not just a couple of Mossad assets, but actual Israeli boots on the ground to start destroying these sites internally?
Well, Leland, first of all, this was the window of opportunity from an Israeli perspective. There was no better window than now, and it was closing, and they were looking at that, and perhaps Iran could rebuild its defensive posture to protect its sites, and they saw that still not happening. But to get on the ground, I was just reading what the Israeli Chief of General Staff just said. He is trying to lay out to the Israeli people right now that there will be casualties, that we will be seeing difficult days ahead. So I bet you can envision a situation where, yes, there would be troops on the ground sent by Israel into Iran. It could be very dangerous. It would be to potentially hit some of the areas where if they're coming, if the missile capacity continues and they can't get it by air, you could see that. But, Israel is also war-weary, and this is very important to talk about. They've spent 18-plus months now in a very difficult war in Gaza. The public is uncomfortable with how much
war with Gaza,
and
a
then,
war with Hezbollah,
but the reserve call-ups, they've been extensive. And so I wonder how much rope the military has in Israel. I wonder how much the Israeli public will allow.
There's a different definition of boots on the ground, I guess, in this point. I don't see there's any scenario where Israelis could actually deploy troops, actual troops, where an invasion would kind of see into Iran. If you're talking about a covert operation.
Covert special operations.
Yes, they already have people there for that, because otherwise it wouldn't be targeting. That's a total different perspective. So visually speaking, I don't think, Jim, you can help me here. I don't think there's a way that they could actually deploy troops into Iran unless we were with them.
Yeah, no, it's too far away.
Right.
I mean, look at what happened when we tried to rescue the hostages. That was too many steps involved to get that far and project force that far. But there's plenty of stuff to blow up. And remember, we don't have to actually see those underground facilities destroyed as long as you cover and blow up the entrances, and then you've got satellite coverage on it. Say, oh, they're going back and digging that one out.
That's
Boom. Blow it up again. If they can't resupply it, those people will run out of supplies underneath the ground there and eventually have a problem breathing. So
but,
I don't think it has to be
very
destroyed
interesting,
right now.
difficult, tricky questions here, right? When Israel struck into Syria and blew up the facility there, the nascent nuclear facility there, they did that. They may have verified it on the ground, but they didn't show the evidence to the world. When they hit Iraq and Iraq in the early 80s, it was above ground. They may very well need to have assets on the ground that can verify that what they're hitting is actually hit properly. And so I wouldn't take that off the table. I agree with you, though, Sarah. We're not talking about, like, rolling in tanks. But certainly, I don't think they would be taking anything off the table now if they want to ensure that these strikes are effective, because they're not going to have unlimited time on this. They need to make sure that they're effective.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.